Bron Harrison here from Be Rhythmic, where we believe in a world where people can heal, grow, be moved and feel good through music. Many people pick up instruments with dreams of being the star of the show. Rock stars are idealised with big personalities and skills to turn heads. For drummers, while talent and show personship are important, there is one characteristic often overlooked: selflessness. Selflessness is the very hard but sometimes revolutionary willingness to put others before yourself. With marketeers, manufacturing a me-centred culture and global politics becoming increasingly introspective, it is a characteristic that is looked upon with less and less regard. In history, however, it has been a force to be reckoned with. And today I have TJ Lee here, who is going to take us through the three main applications of selflessness in drummers. TJ, thank you so much for joining us today. Where do we start?
Thanks for having me, Bron. So there are three main applications of selflessness in drummers. Firstly, staying solid. The fundamental role of a drummer in a band is to keep the beat. I had the privilege of attending the workshop of Michael Jackson's drummer, Jonathan Sugarfoot Moffett. This man's very presence oozed solidity. Each one of his bulging biceps kept the beat going like a metronome of protein supplements. He played the song Jam for us, demonstrating the beat he played during MJ's dance solo. It was simple and it was solid, perfect for keeping Michael moonwalking across the stage. Afterwards, he played what he would have done if that segment of the song was about him, which on that evening it was. He had cymbals galore and chops that made my own forearms hurt. When he had finished, he joked that if he had done that during an MJ tour, Michael would have turned around with a look of considerable disdain. And rightly so, because while a performance like that might have gained attention, it would have also been very hard to dance to. Jonathan Moffett exhibited selflessness in constraining himself to a simple beat, so Michael Jackson would have a solid foundation to dance upon. In doing this, he was also creating space for Michael to dance amongst, which leads conveniently to our next point. Number 2, creating space. It is somewhat unintuitive, but occasionally the most beautiful part of a song is when there is no sound. For a drummer, this means practicing selflessness by giving up the spotlight of over-complex drumming for a greater beauty, a spacious song. One of my favourite drummers is Steve Jordan, drummer for John Mayer and other greats. If In the Pocket was a country, Steve Jordan would be the prince, purely because he would be too cool to be the king. In Mayer's song Gravity, a slow 6/8, there is almost enough time between notes to stop and appreciate each one that has been played. If he so desired, Steve could fill every demi-semi-quaver with a note so tasteful it would make your mouth water. I often find myself hungry after listening. But instead, he chooses selflessness. Steve puts others first, not just for the sake of his band members, but for the sake of the song. And finally, number 3, selflessness for the squad. Music was born out of community. A song comes into its full potential when the notes from one person's fingers reach the eardrum of another's. For relationships to develop, sometimes, I'd advocate most of the time, we need to put others before ourselves. The selfless drummer is focused not on themselves, but on creating something beautiful with those around them. The selfless drummer listens and plays more appropriately for it. The selfless band members are together for the long haul because they're there for one another. To put it simply, drumming is relational, and selflessness is good for relationships. So whether you're in a band, an orchestra, or just starting out, may I encourage you to consider the benefits of selflessness in your music, your band members, and your audience. Whether you're staying solid, creating space, or prioritizing the squad, do it for others, and I'll guarantee you'll get more out of it yourself. In saying all that, when it comes time for the drum solo, by all means possible, go nuts.
Bron Harrison is the author and producer of the Be Rhythmic podcast. Sound design by B Recording. We couldn't do this podcast without our wonderful tutors and students. For more episodes, go to berhythmic.com.au.